Hola amigos y amigas, I am Leila, also known as Ms. Bohemia, and I'm here to chat about something that's really important to me today. Are any of the brands that I've reviewed on my channel not cruelty-free? This question came to me when I was editing my review on one of the Schwarzkopf masks. I believe it was the Rich mask. And by the way, I did not like it. I heard myself say in the video that it reminded me of a cheap drugstore animal tested brand, and then it made me think, wait a minute, is Schwarzkopf cruelty free or is it not cruelty free? Here I'm sitting assuming that it was cruelty free, and I didn't know. I've been a vegetarian since I was 17, which is a long time, and I became a vegetarian for animal rights reasons. That also meant that I started to shop cruelty free, and that anytime I've been able to, I stick to always buying cruelty free products. There's 4 different types of vegetarianism, and I'm going to mention that because it's relevant in a sense. There's lacto-ovo, lacto-ovo, vegetarian, and vegan. Lacto-ovo, they eat dairy and eggs. Lacto eat dairy, no eggs. Ovo eat eggs, no dairy. And vegans don't eat anything that come from animals, whether it be honey, whether it be milk, whether it be eggs. And a true vegan also will not wear leather products, and ideally not use any animal tested products or any products and brands that have any form of animal products in them whatsoever. That's veganism. Now, when it comes to diet and being vegetarian in any of those forms, people do it for a variety of reasons. You might do it for animal rights reasons, or you might do it for health reasons. Those of us who do it for animal rights reasons tend to also follow the path of shopping cruelty free. I'm here to discuss and keep the focus on hair care, makeup, the cosmetic industry basically, because I believe that in this day and age there is absolutely no reason whatsoever to test on animals, especially for skincare products, for hair care products, for makeup products. And honestly, I'm disgusted by the companies that still do. Why? When I was editing that video and wondering if Schwarzkopf was animal tested, I looked it up, and oh my god, they're not animal tested. So that made me wonder, what other products on my channel might not be animal tested? Why on earth did it escape me to look it up? The complication lies in the fact that brands sometimes lie. They try to sugarcoat their reality in order to fool you into thinking that they're cruelty free, but a lot of times some brands that claim that they are cruelty free are not cruelty free. So for example, a brand small and black female owned, such as TGIN and Soultanicals, they're small enough to be trusted, they are cruelty free, and it's not something that would concern me. They're not under the umbrella of a parent company, etc. So it's not a murky situation. You can believe what they say, and they are known to be and have proven to be cruelty free. However, other brands are owned by parent companies, and oftentimes we're not aware. They might be owned by big companies such as Estee Lauder, Johnson & Johnson, Lancome, and whatnot. And these companies do test on animals. So maybe this little company that has been bought by the big company never did before, but now that they're owned by this larger conglomerate that supports animal testing, then what does that make them? They are part of that profit machine, and so they become part of that universe that supports animal testing. So for me and my standards, I would stop shopping from that company. Another complication, aside from what company owns a brand, is whether a brand is sold in China. Because oftentimes a brand might not animal test here in the US, but if they agree to be sold in China, China does not allow any brands that are not tested on animals to be sold in their country. So if you are being sold in China, but yet in the US you claim to be cruelty free, how are you really cruelty free? You're not. Absolutely not. And then you sometimes just deal with the fact that some companies, it's just an unknown. And we're going to delve into that by basically going one by one, and it won't take long, over every brand that I've reviewed to see, are they animal tested or are they not? This, for some reason, escaped me. I've normally been very meticulous in looking up all my makeup and skincare, and for some reason I assumed that the hair care choices that I was making were cruelty free, and in some cases they have not been cruelty free. So I'm taking myself to task, I'm bringing it to light, I'm sharing this with you. For the brands that I mentioned that are not cruelty free, if I happen to have them in my arsenal and it's a brand that I've continued to use, I will no longer be using ever again. That's that, period. So let's jump in. I mentioned Schwarzkopf, and Schwarzkopf is a brand that I used especially when I was bleaching my hair. I haven't liked the products that I've tried from Schwarzkopf. I have not reviewed this bond builder and mask combo, nor their shampoo that I've used as after treatments from my bleaching. didn't really like them. I did a review on 2 different masks, didn't really like them. But I did love their bleach. And their color hair dye technology is amazing. But they are not cruelty free. And that is such a bummer. And then I was wondering, for those of you who dye your hair, who are going to continue to bleach your hair, I'm currently going gray. I don't know if that's going to be forever, and if I don't like the look, I might change my mind. But then what would I do? Because I started looking up to see what salon professional brands don't test on animals, and all the Google results that kept coming up for me were brands that you can buy and dye your hair at home, mainly basically meaning box dyes. And so I wouldn't want to use box dyes. I'd want salon professional, and honestly the only ones I have access to are Schwarzkopf. Or I would want to go to a salon and have my hair dyed by a professional, but most of those brands are not cruelty free. I'm just going to put that there. If you do know of any salon professional, I'm talking salon services that we would not have access to, that only licensed cosmetologists do, that are cruelty free, let me know, because I couldn't find any and I'm really curious to know if you know. So if you do, please leave it in the comments below. So Schwarzkopf is a no. Lucky for me, I'm no longer going to be blonde, but if I was going to be blonde, what would I do? Would I continue using it? Would I stop using it? What would my alternative be? Unfortunately, they have the monopoly in the sense that they've developed an incredible developer that's oil-based that reduces scalp irritation. And for people like me who have horrific allergy to bleach and potentially dyes, I don't know anymore. I haven't dyed my hair in a long time, but I've been bleaching for many years. I don't have a reaction like that with Schwarzkopf. So I understand that sometimes we're facing these dilemmas. What would you do? Of course, TGI Natural and Soultanicals, my ride or dies, are cruelty free. They are heavily my arsenal. Like 90% of my products are from those 2 brands. So thank goodness, not only are they cruelty free, but they also use incredible ingredients. But check out my playlists, because I have an incredible long ass playlist on TGI Naturals, and my Soultanical playlist is growing. Apogee is my protein treatment ride or die. Thank God it's cruelty free. It's not vegan. So what does that mean? And honestly, I haven't really looked into it since finding out, so I'd have to look into it. But what kind of proteins do they use? Are they derived from animal bodies, or are they derived from animal products? What's the difference? So that's up to you and your personal preference as something to look into. And it's something I'm gonna have to ponder as well in my hair journey. Hair Place at 213, those are not very universally known, but those are foams that I reviewed that are from a stylist that I used to go to here in San Francisco, and they're cruelty free. He's just one man who developed incredible hair foams, but they're not vegan. They contain lanolin. On Jackie's, Uncle Funky's Daughter, Alikay Naturals are cruelty free. African Pride and Texture ID both claim to be cruelty free, but all the amount of Googling that I did, I could not really unearth something that pointed me in that direction and towards that fact. It's one thing for a company to claim on their own website that they're cruelty free, but it's not enough. You really want to check third sources. I believe there's Cruelty Free Kitty, PETA has a list, Leaping Bunny. So if I find that information on several sites such as those claiming that a company is truly cruelty free, that's when I'll believe it, and that's what I recommend you do. And a list of products that are absolutely cruelty free that I've reviewed on my channel are Naughty Haircare, Mixed Chicks, Bread Haircare, Camille Rose Naturals, Design Essentials, As I Am, Amika, Eva NYC, Melanin, Carol's Daughter, Miss Jessie's, Curlsmith, Not Your Mother's, and Olaplex. Sauce Beauty claims that they are cruelty free. I really couldn't find much information on them. The only thing I found was naturallycurly.com had a page where they recommended cruelty free products. A product by Sauce Beauty was in that list. However, I would not be able to tell you, because oftentimes some sites might recommend products and tout them as being cruelty free, but then I find out that their parent company, for example, might not be a cruelty free parent company, or that they're sold in China. So sometimes some sources don't do their due diligence. So unless it's a specific site that is solely focused on revealing whether a brand is cruelty free or not, you really can't always trust other sources that are doing like, woo, these 20 products are cruelty free, go shop for them. If they don't do that due diligence and they're not that picky, you never really know. You have to follow through and find several sources that will tell you what that brand is. Now, Bumble and Bumble is a prime example of a company that claims that they're cruelty-free when they are not cruelty-free. And even on their Instagram page, they have it written in their description, cruelty-free. You are not cruelty-free, Bumble and Bumble. They're owned by Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder is not cruelty-free, has never been cruelty-free, and doesn't seem to want to be cruelty-free. And they acquired Bumble and Bumble, if I remember correctly, in 2007. So Bumble and Bumble, you are not cruelty-free, and I'm so upset because I love their bond building hair treatment. I have used that in every wash, and I will no longer be shopping Bumble and Bumble. So now my search for a bond builder begins. Maui Moisture is the last one on the list, and they claim to be cruelty-free, but they are not cruelty-free. They even go so far as to mention on their website that, hey, we aren't sold in China, and we pretty much don't support that loophole. But Maui Moisture, you are owned by Johnson & Johnson, and Johnson & Johnson are majorly not cruelty-free, if I can word it like that. So no sweat off my back because I didn't like the Maui Moisture products I tried. She petty. And so from now on, moving forward, I will be looking at anything that comes my way with a fine-tooth comb. My commitment to how I handle my hair care is to be better and do better, because I don't know why I let the ball drop and I didn't really look into what brands are cruelty-free. I just assumed that all the brands that I was buying were cruelty-free. My track record isn't so bad because pretty much 99% of the products that I have and the brands that I use are cruelty-free. But Schwarzkopf and Bumble have been in my arsenal and they are not cruelty-free. So I'm letting them go, and that's where I stand. At the end of the day, we can just do our best. It's not always going to be 100%. As I mentioned, I'm lacto-ovo-vegetarian. I do eat animal products. When I was younger, as a teenager, I went through a phase where I was vegan and I didn't wear anything that came from animals. No leather, no wool. I didn't eat any honey. I didn't have any leather shoes. All the vegan shoes that I owned by then, because the technology for vegan shoes was not really good, were cutting my feet up. I had like 20 bandages on my feet, so I had to quit that and buy leather. I mean, this is pleather, but I do own some leather. I do own some suede. I do eat dairy and egg products and make sure that they're free range, that they're organic, that they're cage free. The dairy that I have is only in the form of some cheeses. That's pretty much it. So I do what I can. I do my best, but in things that I can control even further, such as my hair care, my skin care, my makeup, and anything else, given this day and age, given the technology that we have, given the resources that we have at our fingertips, and the fact that there are a lot of companies that were cruelty-free from the get-go, that didn't just do it bending over to consumers. And even if you didn't start out cruelty-free and you ended up cruelty-free, you know what? Thank you. You took stock, you took responsibility, you changed your ways, and it means a lot. I was getting a little teary-eyed. I'm an activist. I work in activism, but I started out my activist ways very young as a teenager with vegetarianism that has been ongoing. I haven't faltered, and it turned into buying cruelty-free products and standing at the picket lines, protesting different things along the way. And so it does mean a lot to me to do the best we can. I was more hardcore militant when I was younger, but that's part of youth. You grow up, life has shades of gray, so this isn't to shame anyone. If you have a favorite product that isn't cruelty-free and there's just no way you can give it up, I understand. It's a love for the product, and you not buying it doesn't necessarily change the world. If we do have the chance to do our part and to do better, why not? Do you have any deal breakers? That's my deal breaker. And so moving forward, I hope to be more aware, more conscious, and remember to look everything up before I use it, and especially before I review it on my channel. And that's all I can do for now. If you like this video, please hit like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more. And let me know what you think and where you stand and what it is you look for in the products that you buy. What are things that they absolutely have to have for you to want them? Let me know. See you in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.